Japan to Maine to Arizona and everything spooky in between. The nerds have you covered for all things unpleasant and ghastly. That's the wrong ghastly. Join nerds doing nerd things as they present to you Nerd-Tober.
What's going on, nerds? And welcome to, this special edition of Halloween Nerd-Tober, everything. Almost said Nerdmas, but that's coming up soon. But as like we did last year, it's Mikey boy, it's myself. We're going to do a special episode added on to Nerd-Tober. But Mikey, it's been a year since we did something Halloween on the channel with you. Kind of tell us what we're doing this year.
All right. If you can't tell from my background, we're talking about the Simpsons Treehouse of Horror specials. Not all of them, obviously. There's 32. I haven't seen the past 3 anyway, because I haven't had cable in 3 years.
That's fair.
Yeah.
It's all on Disney Plus, though.
It is on Disney Plus, which we can't make a mountain of content joke. But, I mean, if you don't know me, I'm a humongous Simpsons fan. One of my earliest memories is watching the show with my dad. And we had a special VHS set aside to record just these.
Oh, God. And just kept building it and building it and building
it. I think we had it until season 13 or 14, I want to say. And then we finally ran out of room.
Wow.
Had that shit on like 140p recording quality, but it's all there.
Probably made you happy that you had it, though.
Oh, I still have the tape. I hope it still works. I'm in the process of trying to get a VHS player right now.
So why don't you give us some of the background if people obviously know who the Simpsons are, but what's Treehouse of Horror?
Treehouse of Horror came around in season 2. It became, and very quickly became, one of their most popular things. It was originally called the Simpsons Halloween Special. And eventually, because the framing device for the first one was them in the treehouse telling the stories, it kind of got that name. I don't know if it's officially from them. It's something they came up themselves, or like it's a fan name they heard and they liked it. Because, I was 2.
Wasn't even alive. I wasn't even alive.
But I love this franchise. It's been going every year. I think this season 34. I think it's the current season or season 33. I don't remember which one is the current season.
I'm guessing it's 34 because I don't think they're up to. Yeah, it's right now they're on 34.
All right. This season's going to have 2 of these for the first time in the entire 34 season run. There are going to be 2 Treehouse of Horrors in one season.
All right.
I was just researching this because I was wondering how far they're going to go, but let's. So what about you, AJ? Have you seen a lot of these before?
I've seen a lot of them. I was kind of the last couple days really trying to bunker down and watch as many as bloody possible. Honestly, I think I got all the way up to season 15.
Jesus, you made it further than I would have.
And I just want to say, I was like, a lot of Simpsons episodes. So much shit. So much good shit.
Especially the early ones.
Let's talk about it. What's the plan? How are we doing this, my friend?
I'd say we talk about the first couple and then we do our top 5.
I might not even have 5. But
I struggled for 5
because honestly, instead of the top 5 episodes, it's top 5 segments. Why don't we do that?
Yeah, that's what I did.
Oh, thank God.
Yeah, I did segments because So what I love about these is my favorite thing about things like Goosebumps, things about Are You Afraid of the Dark? It's that once it's over, cool. I liked that story. I didn't like that story. It's done. Here's another one.
Yeah. So when we do our top 5, are we going 5 to 1?
Yes.
All right, because that makes mine a lot easier.
Mine was so hard to make. I still am struggling to not put other things on there. I'm like, I have 5.5. But I love the framing segments. They only did them in the first 4. Yeah, the first 4, which is like the little thing that leads into each story. But I understand why they got rid of them, because It's about like 2 to 5 minutes an episode that they can cut to put into segments.
Yeah, exactly. So,
Um, yeah, the first one, the Simpsons Halloween special, starts with Homer coming home after trick or treating. Even though I'm like, did he? People really think he was a kid?
I don't think people cared at that point. People want candy. People
Yeah,
always want candy.
that's fair. I have like 6 bags just for me.
Yeah, I
It,
feel like Santa Claus bringing toys, but I have a bunch of candy.
and it's Lisa and Bart trying to scare each other in the treehouse. I love that framing device. And I didn't know until like the past 5 years that that was James Earl Jones in all three segments in the first one.
Yep, and
That's
honestly, one of these is in my top five.
oh, interesting. I love it. The first one is Bad Dream House, which has my favorite use of him, of James Earl Jones, which is just him just going, a buck, huh? Glad there's a curse on this place. Just leaves. He's in there for like 15 seconds and leaves. I love it.
The
But
Simpsons or death? The Simpsons or death?
I
Death.
gotta feel a little insulted.
Yeah, a little bit.
Yeah, that was a it was a parody of Amityville Horror and Poltergeist in a
Yeah,
way.
something like that. Yeah, yeah,
Yeah, I
yeah.
know Amityville Horror, a lot of that, but because the Get Out especially.
Get out.
Yeah. I
Shouldn't
love
be here.
my favorite line is right near the end when he's trying right before Marge snaps, where he's like, and some stuff. He's like starts running out of things to say, so he's like, and stuff.
Uh,
Then the next one goes into like a direct parody of a Twilight Zone episode, To Serve Man, I believe is the actual episode.
yeah. Yep.
And it's Hunger the Damned, which has another one of my favorite lines, which is just Homer's like nonchalantly walking up eating a burger, like, "Ooh, your burger's good, call. Oh, holy moly, just still eating his burger while looking at a fucking UFO for the first time in his life.
And then he's slowly getting sucked up.
And used 2 tractor beams to get him in the end.
I enjoyed that one because I think they were gonna eat them, but then they flipped it on them. It was like, no, we were gonna take you to paradise, you freaking assholes.
Yeah, the original Twilight Zone episode, the name of the book that Lisa finds it as is the twist of the Twilight Zone episode. Because they
Oh,
trans I think it's like in an alien language, and they the whole episode the guy's trying to translate it, and they finally translate it, and they find out it says it's to serve man.
yeah.
It's
So
really I really
I
like that.
I really enjoyed it because it shows that Lisa is sometimes too smart for her own freaking good.
Oh yeah. And
So
then
where are we going the next?
and then the next one is the last segment, which is the most really straightforward one, which is just the Raven narrated by James Earl
James Earl
Jones, which is
Jones.
phenomenal. Great. I love. It was actually obviously I was like 3 the first time I like cognitively watched this, so I have no idea who Edgar Allan Poe is. But then we go on to Treehouse of Horror 2, the following season, which has my personal favorite
Mm-hmm.
wraparound segment, which is the 3 bad nightmares.
Yeah, with all the candy that they ate.
Yep. There's the first one's the monkey's paw, which is possibly one of my favorites, even though it's not really in my top list, but it's there. It's an
Mm-hmm.
honorable the one honorable mention because I used to have Homer's last wish memorized. The turkey
The
sandwich
turkey
wish.
sandwich.
I wish for a turkey sandwich on rye bread with lettuce and mustard. And I don't want any zombie turkeys. I don't want to turn into a turkey myself. I don't want any other weird surprises. You got it? That part of the tape was so I rewound it so much that that part when we watched on the tape was warped and like
Was
would break.
faded.
Yeah, that one's great. And then Flanders gets it, and there's no downsides.
It's a little dry. It's a little dry.
Oh, follow a cursed thing! What demon from the depths of hell created thee? That's one of my favorite line deliveries of all time.
I like
Then
how they go all out for the acting in these.
oh yeah, like this is what like I don't want to say they don't really care anymore, but that was when they cared.
I mean, I still think they kind of care. It's just there's been so much that they've done.
Yeah. My dad talks to me about he watches it still religiously because we're obviously big fans. And he's like, yeah, Julie Kavner, who does Marge, her voice is like so shot from doing it that she permanently sounds like she's pissed off. Like her, like if you've heard Marge's angry voice, it's always that now apparently, or like really close to that.
Oh wow. Yeah, I haven't watched in a couple of years, which is very unfortunate.
Last time I watched was 20 beginning ish of 2019.
Oh shit.
So like that was when I moved out from my parents' place where we had cable. So,
Cable.
but moving on to I guess it's called the Bart Zone. I looked it up because they're not named, and this is the only episode where they're not named,
Mm-hmm.
and it's just a direct parody of another Twilight Zone episode, I believe called "It's a Good Life." Yeah, that's where like there's a kid who, if you have any bad thoughts, just takes care of you. And
Oh yeah.
The jack o' lantern scene is the twist ending of you don't see the jack o' lantern, you just see like the shadow of it.
Yeah.
And that's the twist ending of the Twilight Zone episode. But I love one of my favorite lines is the history of our nation has been changed again. It's
Thank
America
you,
was
Bart.
founded like I forgot what year the year was like, but it was founded by
1940 something.
yeah by some guy, and it's not America. It's now Bonerland.
I laughed way too hard when I heard that. It was like me in high school all over again. Poonderland.
Yeah, and then that one and then we go into another one of my personal favorites.
Homers.
If I only had a brain, Homer's dream, which me and my dad used to like quote the last line of that episode a lot, which was, "I hate having two heads." But Homer, we have something for the Queen Beatrice. I hate having two heads. Queen Beatrice
Is that where the one Burns takes his head and puts it in a robot?
His brain, yeah. He
Yeah.
he thinks he's dead, but he's actually just like he was doing a grave digging job because he got fired. And that's a really good one. I think season two, like not season two, the Treehouse of Horror 2 was really good. And then another great one, Treehouse of Horror 3 has, I think, some of like back to back my favorites, which is the stories at the Halloween party. That's Clown Without Pity, which is the like it's a combination of Chucky.
It's Chucky. It's not even a combination of Chucky.
There's also a Twilight Zone episode, Talking Tina. Hello?
Talking Tina.
Yeah, if you look it up, a lot of the dialogue the Krusty Doll has is taken from Talking Tina. Like I'm Krusty the Clown and I don't like you. That's Talking Tina dialogue. She is one of the things that scared me as a child because I didn't like talking scary dolls that much.
To be fair, we also grew up with Chucky, or you might have grown up with Chucky. I just recently saw it for Nerd-Tober for the first time.
I was scarred for life because of Chucky, and I love those movies now because, except for 3, I've only seen the first 4, but I need to watch the rest one of these days. But Call Out Pity has one of my favorite twist endings, which is somebody set this thing to evil. That's it. That's the whole twist.
And then he becomes all nice, Krusty.
Yeah, and then it has
the dog for the walk. Yeah, he buried me a couple times.
My favorite joke. Yeah, dogs love burying random crap. I think that's and then I love the recurring joke at the end of the every segment with the heart wipe into darkness. the cheesy da, 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 da.
What was that from?
That was at the end of all the segments. It's like a heart wipe into dark.
I know,
like,
but where's that? Dun, dun, dun.
That's the song that plays. It's like
I know, but it's actually from somewhere, and I can't.
It's gotta be like a sitcom of some sort.
For people watching at home, please let us know because my brain is completely shot right now.
I do want to know that, and I mean, I could look it up. But
I've heard it so many times.
Same here. But then again, I've also watched this episode a lot. Then there's King Homer, which is okay.
Yeah, I wasn't a fan of King Homer.
One of my favorite. I do quote one of the lines, which is, "I wish we were going to Candy Apple Island. What's there? Apes. That was big." And there's actually, I don't know if it's in this. I watched DVDs mostly. I don't know if it's in the Disney Plus version. There was a race joke originally.
I don't remember it.
It's when Homer's eating Lenny. When King Homer's eating Lenny, and they try to shoot at him. Carl shoots him in the arm, and he goes, "Nice shot, Carl."
Yeah, he still says that.
Oh, still they cut it in like airing after that. It's weird. And then we end with another one of my favorite segments, Style Z for Zombies.
Oh, I remember that one.
I
That was
never.
that
Oh,
was
sorry.
funny. What it was it? One of the kids did a oh, for Snowball. That's what it was.
They were
Snowball the
trying to
cat.
revive Snowball, the one killed by the mayor's something brother Clovis. I always think that name because it's such a weird name. And then
Something
I
something
play
something
Destiny,
dark
and
side.
I hear Destiny too. I play Destiny, and it's like, oh, Clovis Bray. I'm like, huh. And it does even always great. It has some really memorable lines. One of my favorite, like, Dad, you killed the zombie Flanders. He was a zombie.
Just boom.
Just annihilates him. He's like, yeah, I've had enough. And then the idea that Albert Einstein, George Washington, and Shakespeare are
Are all
all
in the
buried in
school.
Springfield.
Yeah.
Wait a minute. I'm John Smith. John Smith, 1882. My mistake. Another line I quote a lot. And then the last one I'll really talk about, there are ones like there's one more I want to talk about, but we're running a little longer than I thought because I know we got to get going.
We gotta do the top five.
Yeah, so
Two.
we'll talk about really fast. I'll just say, I love the Night Gallery wraparound. Night Gallery, if you didn't know, is more of a horror based anthology that Rod Serling, creator of the Twilight Zone, did
Mm-hmm.
about like 10-ish years later. I love Night Gallery. It's not as good in ways, but I love the setting of the Night Gallery itself. It's really neat. He had custom paintings made for every single episode,
Yeah.
and if you go on the DVD, it shows it, and they talk about like the creation of it. Really cool. That has some great segments, but like I said, we're running long. We should go right into our top five. So, AJ, why don't you start us off? What's your number five?
So we kind of already talked about my fifth one, and that is Clown Without Pity.
Really, that's
Um,
that low, huh?
there's 30 how many of these, and this is my fifth
Yeah,
favorite one.
I it's on my list, but I'll mention it when we get there too. Though
I think we know what my
it's
top one is.
yeah, I know what yours is. I have a feeling I don't know if you know what mine is, but we'll see. To Count Without Pity is so fucking funny.
It is. It for me. It was more of the fact of. It was more of the fact of I can kind of see like Toy Story, effed up Toy Story, and I was like, oh, well, what happens if Woody and Buzz were bad? Because, mind you, I just saw Chucky a couple
Hmm,
weeks ago. I knew of him, never really saw it, and literally, it's Krusty the Clown as Chucky.
pretty much. You dog water.
So, what was your top five
My
or
number
your
five.
five?
My number five is Dowsy for Zombies.
Okay,
It's in Monkey's Paw is like fighting for that too. Like anything below number one can change it any day. This is I'm going by what I wrote the day I wrote this top five though.
I mean that's fair.
James Fair. He's not here, but we're saying it anyway.
No, no, he's not, but we miss him. I can't wait to see him. Hopefully on Sunday.
Me too. I will actually be there. Thank God.
Yay! I'm bringing a couple buddies.
Mm,
I'm
Buddy
adding
who?
them to our group,
Oh, okay.
indoctrinating them into the nerd group.
Rehazing him.
Kind of like what we did with Chris.
I miss Chris.
All right, so you want to do number four, or you want to jump it
I'll,
back over to me?
I'll do number four. Number four is The Devil and Homer Simpson. Oh, it's so good. That is
That
a
was my number
phenomenal.
four too, and I hate you for it.
Oh, that's really funny. I listen. You can't put one of the best side characters in Simpsons, Lionel Hutz, in one of these. It's cheating. That's instantly going to get you top five.
Actually, what's funny is within this same episode, my number three is too. But I love this because, granted, they seem to always get out of it, literally.
Oh yeah,
But it's so funny because who's the devil? Obviously, Ned Flanders.
that's so good. My favorite thing is just the entirety of the lineup of the jurors.
Mm-hmm.
I forget what hockey team was it?
Oh,
The Philadelphia Flyers.
Philadelphia Flyers. Yes.
Yeah, Philadelphia Flyers, and then like that's the one that scares them. That's the best part. It's like John Wilkes Booth, Blackbeard the Pirate, Lizzie Borden, and then it's a hockey team. And they go ah. It's and then Blackbeard's like in a baby high chair.
So fine, go do your number 3 now since we just mixed it together.
My number 3 is one you talk about, Clown Without Pity.
Okay. Okay, so we kind of already hit that. My number 3 is Bart Simpson's Dracula.
Oh, that's such a good one too.
It is so good. And my favorite line that I remembered and I just still cracked up is like, tink, tink,
I knew
tink. Dad, that's his crotch. Oh,
sorry.
Oops.
My favorite part is just when it's suddenly at the end of that goes into a fucking Charlie Brown Christmas parody.
Yeah, what was up with that?
They ran out. They were like, we don't know how to end this, so here you go. Which sounds about right. While we're on that, what's your number 2?
Well, my number 2 is I'm trying to find the name for it. I think it's the zombie one.
Dial Z for Zombies?
Thank you.
Yeah, my number 5.
Yeah, so we kind of already hit that. As I'm literally trying, I have the episodes right here, and I'm just going through them to find the names for them. So what was your number 2?
My number 2 is Terror at 5.5 Feet.
Oh, okay.
The bus episode, because that is actually horrifying. Specifically the ending, like when it's Ned Flanders' decapitated head with like the vocal cords and shit hanging. I was like, oh, that's terrifying. I don't like this. If you didn't know, that's a direct parody of Terror at 20,000 Feet, which famously starred William Shatner in the Twilight Zone.
Oh, no kidding.
Yeah.
I'm still looking for the original Twilight Zone Tower of Terror episode.
Twilight Zone, I'm not sure actually. I don't know if it was just the end up being themed after Twilight Zone or there was an actual episode.
I figured it was an actual episode. I could be wrong.
I mean, I think they ended up then reverting it into the movie, the Disney movie.
I really enjoy that movie.
Me too.
It's so good. We talked about it a couple years ago.
Yeah, I was sad I wasn't on that one. You guys said you were doing it. I'm like, oh, I wish I had known. I would have come over.
We could do a retrospective in a year or two.
Works for me. And
so you're number 1, Mikey.
But what's your number 1? Because I think it's the same thing.
Is it the shinning?
It's the shinning. The shitting is the best.
This is 60 minutes.
Hi, Johnny. I'm Grandpa. You left Grandpa at that gas station.
No TV, no beer. Make Homer do something, something, something.
Go crazy?
Don't mind if I do.
That animation is amazing.
Give me the
I used to have
that
whole thing memorized. I used to like every little beat, every little body movement.
Give me the bat.
I had that memorized as a kid.
Give me the bat.
He scares himself.
It's such an awesome parody of The Shining.
I'm glad you saw that recently too. So like last year. Yeah, it's still recently enough that you like. What was my favorite joke that I don't know why I love it now more than when I was a kid, which is
do you want to get copyrighted?
Was Homer's locked in the freezer. Homer, some of the ghouls and I just really hope you seen you get on this family kid thing.
And it's all like talking, Dracula, Frankenstein.
It's the whole like Universal monsters just dragging them out. Like, what the hell? This is so stupid. And also, that's funny. The blood usually gets off the second floor. All these jokes are so good.
I love it so much. And what's really sucky, everybody, is that all of the ones we just talked about in our top 5 were from the first 5 or 6 iterations from it.
The first 5.
Like, don't get me wrong, there are some good ones that I would suggest watch them all if you're into it.
Oh, yeah.
But they're just so good at the beginning. Oh, this is like The Shining. Ooh, whoa, 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 whoa. If you want to
get sued, use that shin of yours. Can't do a good Willie, so I'm just gonna do whatever voice that is for me.
Yeah, I just tried to do it in my head, and I'm like, I'm not even going to attempt it.
Yeah, but Smithers, release the robotic Richard Simmons. It's not a Halloween episode, but it's one of my favorites.
Oh, so one of my favorites is the one where the big donut dude and all the
Attack of the 50-foot eyesores.
Yeah, that was good. I enjoyed that. That reminded me of I think one of the missions on the Simpsons game, which I think it was one of them.
Yeah.
But Mikey, why don't we close it up shop now? This was a lot of fun, pal.
I was really hoping we can drag some other people into this, but time didn't really let this happen, unfortunately.
It's okay. It's not like we're gonna go anywhere right after this.
Yeah.
We got another thing too.
I'm definitely not going to change my shirt to.
I wasn't planning on it. I was
going to do it so to break. I was going to try to not break kayfabe on that.
Ladies and gentlemen, we record multiple episodes in one day to stay up with your viewing pleasure.
Don't lie to them. It's obviously multiple days now. Yeah, the fact that they got me in general, yeah, that's proof of that.
All right, Mikey, where can people find you real fast?
You can find me in the Shadow Realm. You can find me in the Treehouse of Horror watching all these episodes again because it's really good. And I'm going to spend unfortunately, since I have to work Halloween, I'm going to spend the day after Halloween watching a lot of spooky stuff.
Spooky dookies. It's spooky dookies.
Depending on what I eat, some of it is a spooky dookie.
Ewy.
But AJ, where can they find you?
Well, we're going to send it to that beautiful person that you guys were awesome enough to make me, and that's Mr. Rob Paulson at 625.
Hey, you guys, this is 625 here from Lilo and Stitch. Some people think of me as AJ Coppola. I don't care. Just follow me on Facebook, on Twitter, on Instagram, Twitch at NDTA JalasStar15, and Xbox and PSN at AJ All-Star 15. I should have said AJ All-Star, but I'm a sandwich maker. What the hell do I know? Do yourself a favor. Go get yourself a hot fudge marshmallow tuna fish and ham sandwich. All right? Take care of yourself. Goodbye.
All right, everybody. This was the Simpsons Treehouse of Horror episodes for Nerd-Tober in 2022. Thank you for all tuning in. Hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, and share it out. We're growing on YouTube, and actually, Mikey in the Dark should be blowing up his YouTube in a little bit.
Oh, you don't even know.
Like, I mean, if I'm not Wile E. Coyote just going chink, and it just doesn't go poof.
I have something. I'm having problems making stuff. I have forced my problem by involving another individual.
Oh dear.
Who will be forcing me to put the stuff, anything we do, out.
Good.
So I will be. I'm not going to say what it is.
Use the hate.
Yeah, I hate editing. That's my hate.
Oh, that's why you do what I do and don't edit and just let it ride.
That's fair.
But peace out, everybody. We'll see you Monday for the Halloween episode of Nerd-Tober, of English,
Halloween.
of brain.
Yeah, words are hard.
Tell me about it. I'm in danger.
To stay up to date with the show, join the Nerds Doing Nerd Things Facebook page. See you next time.